Hi, it's me again, Mark. This is a video response to a video about Chamoru. That is an Austronesian language spoken somewhere in the Pacific. I haven't really looked it up in the map. And in this video, Chamoru, the words in Chamoru are compared with the words in Tagalog and Hawaiian and Fijian, which are also Austronesian languages, and I found it quite fascinating that Chamorro is actually very similar or even more similar to Malay or Indonesian than those three languages it was compared to. So in this video I'm gonna give you the words that are similar to Chamorro. I'm gonna show it here in the somewhere here, there, yeah, so that you can read the words, and I'm gonna pronounce them. And also in the end of the video I'm also gonna give you a couple of words from Malagasy, which is also an Austronesian language which is spoken in Madagascar in Africa. Yeah, let's start. So the words are, the words for ash is abu. The word for roof is atap. Road, jalan. Fish, ikan. Fire, api. What, apa. It's very similar to Chamoru, hafa, apa. And by the way, in Indonesian or Malay, the native words don't have the F word, and usually we have P instead of F. So for example, hafa is apa. And the word for sky is langit in Indonesian. And I also found out that in Maori it's called rangi, langit, rangi. And the word for bird in some dialects or regional languages in Indonesia is manuk or manok, manok. And then we have the word for moon, that is bulan. In Malagasy is bulan, that's moon. And then the word for thin is tipis. Land, tanah. Name, nama. People in some dialects or languages in Indonesia is called tou. And then we have the word for breast or milk, that is susu. It's almost identical to Chamoru. The word for star is bintang, and it's in Malagasy it's kintan, bintang, kintan. And then you have the word for rain, which is ujan. And then the word for me is aku, and I think in Malagasy is ahu or something like that, ahu, aku. And I know in some dialects in Indonesia, like for example my father's language, you say siahu, ahu. The word for you singular is kau. And then the word for she, he, or him, or her, we don't have any difference in genders. I think all Austronesian languages don't distinguish the genders. The word for he or she is dia or ia. And I also read that in Hawaiian it's also ia. So and I think in Tagalog is sia. So from the sound is very similar actually, dia. The word for we, including the person you're talking to, is kita. I think in Chamoru it's hita or something, yeah. And for we or us without the person you're talking to is kami. There's kita and kami, and also it's I think it's also similar in Cebuano as well. And the word for you guys in plural is kamu. Although it's actually historically nowadays we actually use kamu also for one person usually, and in Indonesian we say kalian. For you guys, it's actually an abbreviation from kamu sekalian and became kalian. Yeah, and also in the video about Chamoru, they explained at the end of the video, it explains the prefix man in Chamoru that changes where the N changes depending on the first sound of the next word that it's like prefixing, you know. And a very similar thing is happening in Indonesian and Malay, and even the change of the first sound of the prefixed word is almost identical. So for example, you have man plus ch becomes ny, at least in the spoken language. For example, you have the word cari is to search, to look for, and you have mencari, and in the spoken language you say nyari. So and it goes on. Also, it goes regularly. You have the word cuci, which means to wash, and if you add men before it, in the standard language it's mencuci, but most people say menyuci, nyuci. And then you also have men plus p, and it actually kind of like deletes the p, and the p becomes an m. For example, the word becomes a yeah, pilih. Pilih is to choose. I think it's similar in Tagalog or something. And man plus pilih becomes memilih. And in the spoken language, you drop the so it becomes milih. Pilih, memilih, milih. And then you also have the man plus t, and the t there also disappears, and it becomes n. An example would be man plus tahan. Tahan means to keep, and it becomes menahan or nahan. And another example would be tipis. Tipis means thin, like I said before, and if you add man, it becomes menipis or nipis. Yeah, so those are the examples in Malay and Indonesian, or Indonesian, which are really similar basically. And now I'm just gonna give you a couple of words, basically just the numbers in Malagasy from 1 to 10, and those of you who know Austronesian languages will immediately recognize the similarity. So let's start with I'm just gonna start 1 to 10. Okay, 1 is isa, rua, telu, efat, jim, enin, fitu, valu, sivi, fulu. Again, 1 to 10. Isa, rua, telu, efatra, jimi, enina, fitu, valu, sivi, fulu. I know my pronunciation is horrible. If there's any Malagasy native speakers out there who would like to correct me, you're more than welcome. And also a couple of words in Malagasy which are similar to Austronesian languages, like Indonesian. Example is the word for moon is bulan. I think I said it before. In Indonesian is bulan. The word for eye is masu. In other languages it's mata, usually mata or maka, and yeah. And the word for fire is afu. Mountain is vuhit. Vuhit is related to the word in Philippine languages. You have bukit, and in Malay or Indonesian it means hill. Bukit, vuhit. And again, which I said before, is the word for star is kintan, and in Indonesian is bintang. Yeah, so there's a video about the fascinating world of Austronesian languages. Yeah, I hope you liked it, and I hope it's helpful for you guys. Yeah, see you next time. Bye.